Greetings, Vibe Squad. So I have my wife here with me, Ash, and we want to talk about how spirituality saved our marriage. So I'm gonna let you talk, babe.
Okay, I'm gonna try to sum this up as good as I can because I don't want to make this video very long. But basically, my wife started her journey way before I did. I came 2 years after her and experienced my awakening. They were not similar situations. I think that it had a lot to do with our marriage, but us separately as people as well. So we didn't have the best relationship, I want to say, about 4 years ago. It was very toxic. We had a lot of arguments. We had a lot of moral indifferences, cultural indifferences, upbringing indifferences, religious indifferences. There was a lot of things that we did not agree on as far as what we wanted for our family. And it was a lot to do with our conditioning. We are born to our parents and they tell us what to feel, what is right, how to act, what to believe in, how success looks, how love looks, how religion looks, what religion we are supposed to follow. So if you really look into it, when you get older, it tends to cause a lot of issues with certain people, especially when you're in a relationship, because her makeup of what a husband and wife or a wife and a wife are supposed to be was totally different than mine. And that's where we bump heads at a lot.
And I feel like it shouldn't be that way. I feel like we should have our own meanings and definitions of what love and relationships should be like based on the person that we're with and based on what we want in life and how we should feel. Don't you think?
Yeah, instead of us being conditioned that way with our upbringing. And a lot of things that she was taught, I wasn't taught, and vice versa. Our feelings were not connected. I would act off of emotion and she would act off of impulse, and it was like, okay, well, I'm telling you that this is how I feel and this is how you're treating me right now, but it went in one ear and out the other because she thought, and correct me if I'm wrong, babe, she thought that, well, I don't feel that I'm doing that or I'm saying that way, so your feelings are not right. So she wouldn't validate my feelings, and it caused a lot of issues and drama in our relationship. And it got to the point to where I'm going to just be 100 with y'all. We were miserable. We were miserable because it was like every other day we would fight, or we would have 3 months of bliss. And I used to call it the do-betters because everything would be great for them 3 months. And after that third month happened, y'all, here comes the drama. And it was just crazy. And I was just like, we can't keep living like this. Like, she wasn't happy, I wasn't happy. We was ready to call it quits.
Yeah, we were. And I feel like because those 3 months that you're talking about, that we had those 3 months, we thought, okay, things are getting better. 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. But anyway, we felt like because those 3 months were good, that, okay, we got this. Everything is about to be on track now because everything is fine for these full-blown 3 months. Nothing happened. Everything good. So we don't have to worry about. But then things arise of people not validating feelings, or
it wasn't just that either. Like I said, our upbringings had a lot to do with it too.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna let y'all know this don't have nothing to do with spirituality. This is if you marry, period. Keep your parents mainly your family, period, but your parents out of your business.
Right.
That was a big thing for us too.
Mm-hmm.
Our moms were too involved in our relationship,
For sure.
and they put too much pressure on us to demand respect from each other, and this is how you treat somebody. And they weren't even the poster people. And I love my mother-in-law to death, and I love my mom, but they're not the poster people to try to tell somebody how to have a marriage or what takes place in a marriage. You make your marriage what you want to make your marriage. So for you to sit up there and take relationship advice from somebody who isn't even walking that life, that's not the move.
Mm-hmm.
Don't preach to me unless you're walking in that path. And that's how I feel. I don't care who you are, mom, sister, brother, cousin, whatever the case may be. Do not tell me nothing unless you're following the same morals and beliefs yourself.
For sure. And then just because those things work for your spouse
doesn't mean that they're going to work for me.
Exactly. Doesn't mean it's going to work
and I might
for
not
me.
I'm sorry.
No, you fine.
I might not necessarily want the same things that you want out of marriage.
Period.
We might have a whole different ideology of what marriage is.
Different dynamic, right.
So it doesn't make any sense. But anyways, so like I said, we were miserable. Mm-hmm. We wanted to call it quits.
There are times where we would be in totally separate parts of the house. We would be there, but not there. We was together, but we were lonely. And we will fuss over anything. We'll argue over any and everything. And I'm going to just keep it all the way 100. I feel like good intimacy blocked out judgment as well. Don't you feel like that sometimes?
It wasn't intimacy because we weren't intimate. We was fucking. I'm sorry.
Okay,
guys.
I was trying to say it in a.
We grown. We all grown here. If you are not 18
way.
and older, you should not be watching this video.
Click off.
I'm gonna just be honest.
The
sex was amazing. We've always had sexual chemistry. Even people who hang out with us, friends or associates or whatever the case may be, we don't, engage in front of them, of course, but they can see that we play off of each other, mm-hmm. and it's very, there's a spark is there. That never went anywhere. So that was another reason, I guess, and that's not a good reason, but a reason why we held on for so long. But I do thank God that we did held on for so long, because
it brought us where we are today.
Right, and she opened her eyes before I did, and she said, I don't like the person that I'm becoming. Right. I don't like the person I am. It's time for me to change who I am and, do this work, because I'm hurt. I'm hurt behind past relationships. Mm-hmm. I'm hurt behind past traumas as a child, mm-hmm. and I need to fix me because mm-hmm. I'm not right.
And you cannot love somebody else if you don't love yourself. And that's the thing that I had to realize. Maybe I wasn't validating her feelings because mine weren't validated, period, within every aspect of my life. And it's just like, I felt like because she was older than me, that she was trying to control me or rule me when she tell me certain things. And I would be like, no, I'm not about to do that. I'm still young, this, and that. You want to act old. And it really wasn't that. She was telling me things that can help me. She will never tell me nothing that can hurt me, and I know that now. But then it was just like, you're not about to tell me what to do. I'm going to do what I want to do. And that wasn't right, because when you're in a relationship, there's certain things you just don't do.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's just like, I was like, what is it? It took for her to break all the way down. Break down and shut down for me to realize that something is really wrong. And I know some of y'all watching this like, they saying all this. Why did they stay together? You don't know what's going through people's head, or you don't know people's situations unless you're in them.
Right.
There was a whole lot of different factors. Our kids, there was a whole lot of different factors of why we stayed together, which you cannot validate for me. And I'm sorry I can't validate for you. I'm only telling you my story of what saved our marriage and what saved us as people. First of all, we have to love ourselves as people, as individuals, okay? And so I went into a deep, dark depression. I had to do shadow work, and shadow work is when you basically deal with all your demons, all your shadows.
It's like an onion. It's like there's layers, and it's not layers of positivity. you're peeling the layers back of all the negative things, all the negative events that have occurred in your life, all the things that have happened. Some people have been touched as children. That might be something that you have to work on. Because these things, you might have been abused verbally, physically. These things can mess you up as you get older. And us as black people, as black women, everybody wants to say strength, strength, strength.
Right.
Yes, we are powerful. Yes, we are. We do have a lot of strength. But at the end of the day, when you're bottling all that stuff inside, it's going to come to the surface in a nasty way, and you're not going to like it. You're not going to like it. Because you're going to take it out on somebody who you truly love and you truly could be in something great with. But that's holding you back because you're so suppressed from everything that happened to you. You got to let it go. You got to heal from it and not just ignore it. Because it's going to keep coming up in your relationship. And that's what happened.
I agree.
She had a lot of stuff going on. And then, like I said, when she was doing her thing for 2 years, I thought she was weird. I'm not even going to lie to y'all. I was like, who is this person? Where is my wife?
And
what is
she
she
would be
talking
like,
about?
and I would come to her and be like, you know what, babe? I realized what you said about me and it wasn't right, and I apologize. I don't want to do that. It would be different things that I would come to her about slowly but surely, and she would be like, oh, now you have a coming to Jesus moment, or now you feel like because you're ready to change, I should accept that change when you wasn't ready to change when I was ready for you to change. And it was just like, in my mind, I was thinking, maybe that's true. That's selfish of me to want her to accept the fact that I've changed after I've put her through so many years of converting to what I wanted her to convert to. But then when you get more into spirituality, you realize that it's about mending
Fences.
Yes, mending fences and going and realizing that those things was right. First of all, the reason why I kept doing it because I didn't think they were wrong. So within my journey, I was like, okay, what am I doing? What am I doing wrong? Right? What am I doing wrong for her to shut down like this? Somebody that loved me and treated me, gave me the world, treated me like a queen. I was already skeptical of that anyway because I was so, basically too good to be true. It was a too good to be true situation.
So you can never, what stuck with me is one thing she used to always tell me is, you can never stop someone from cheating. All you can do is prolong it. And I was like, the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, why would you think that you're prolonging me doing something that I have no intention on doing to you? I would never hurt you like that. And I would walk away before I would do that.
Right. And then I will always tell her, if you leave, I won't die.
Right. It's just a breakup. Like, everybody will get over it. We're going to live the rest of our lives out. It's not that big of a deal.
And at the time, I didn't notice it was making her feel invalidated. Right? Is that a word? Invalid. It was making her feel invalid.
It made me feel small. It made me feel like I was not valuable to her. Like, at any given, like, I was a booger. She could pick me and just pluck me, basically. That's how I felt. Because, I mean, if somebody's telling you that constantly every time y'all have an issue with each other, you gonna really be like, well, damn, so why am I here? Like, if I'm not special to you, I'm just an anybody, because you can get anybody, then what's the point of us being together?
Right. And it was just like, I was so nonchalant about things and just so whatever, nobody owns my feelings, controls my feelings. And that just wasn't the way to be. It just was not the way to be. So when we went through our dark space and I was at my breaking point of, I just can't live like this no more.
It made me bitter, though, because I was doing, the emotional one in the beginning, trying to get her to see the light, trying to have her, so to say, have a coming to Jesus moment. Guys, there's a yellow jacket flying around. They don't sting, babe. They don't
but I'm so afraid.
They don't sting.
Okay.
But,
my protector.
She's going to be focused on this bee this whole time.
Okay, I'm going to be calm. And hope that he goes away.
Okay, he's going. We are not editing that either.
We gotta show him the real us.
I mean, that it is what it is. I think he's coming back. I think he has something to say. I'm sure he wants to put his 2 cents in. But anyways, the roles changed. So then I didn't give a fuck anymore. I was super bitter, super cold, super
changed,
heartless.
Y'all. It changed.
And it was just like, I ended up having a come into Jesus moment where I was like, why am I so angry? Why am I so bitter? Like, this is not me. This is not my character. Like, this is not who I am. I'm normally a happy person. Even though I do suffer from depression, I'm not never just trying to go around and make people's lives miserable because I suffer with the illness. So, you know, I had to, that's when I started to do my work. And
like, piggybacking on that for 1 second, because I see that in a lot of marriage groups, LGBT, straight groups, whatever, of people saying it's crazy how when you're in a relationship and it's toxic and then you finally change, but then your partner change or not accepting or starting to be the toxic person you was. It does happen because those people taking in all that for so long, and then you feel like, okay, now I'm finished beating you down.
Right.
Let me love on you.
Right.
So it's instinct. It's human nature to be that way,
Right.
to flip. And it was like she flipped for the same amount, almost years as I flipped, and it just was like, what is going on? Something have to give and something have to change. But when I went into my spirituality, I was not only focused on, let me just go into this to fix my marriage. I was, let me go into this to fix myself.
Right.
And my thing was, when I come out of this, it's going to show me if we meant to be together, we're going to be together.
If we aren't,
and we aren't. If this journey separates us, it's because that's what the universe wants us to do. Period. I was still going to be there for my kids. I love my kids. Everybody know I love my kids. That's my kids. I had them, y'all. But everybody know that I was still going to be there for my kids. But it was like, if this journey separates us, because when I got on this journey, I was like, wow, it is an amazing way to live. Not trying to convert nobody, but this is just my story and our story on what saved our marriage. It was like, it teach you that don't let your ego get in the way of everything. Don't be so thinking that if you validate people's feelings or tell people how you feel or share, because that was a thing too, right? I never share my feelings with you.
Right. Unless I was mad at her when I was at my breaking point where I'm shut down, I don't want to talk to you now, you want to come to me, and this is how I felt when you did, and I'm like, I don't want to hear it now because we had space and opportunity to have this conversation an hour ago. Now I'm pissed because we weren't able to communicate that with each other.
And so if this gets to 20 minutes, we're gonna make 2 parts to this video, y'all. But so it was just like, you don't have to feel like somebody taking away from you because you validating their feelings, or powerless because you apologizing, or you woman enough to accept your wrongs. You have to accept the person you are before you can change. First of all, I accepted that I was a mega bitch. I accepted that I was closed off and nonchalant. I accepted that first before I can fix and change the dynamic of who I was. Once I did that, I realized that everything she used to do and say to me was never to harm me. It's because she loved me unconditionally, no matter what. And she could have been got her bags and walked out the door and said, I don't have to deal with this. But she tried to figure me out and figure out if I was gonna change, when she gonna change and everything. And I feel like I just love her so much for that, because we went through hell. I mean, it would take us hours if we really tell.
If we actually went down
the detail. If y'all want details, comment down below. Tell us more, and we'll make 2 more videos. Okay, tell us more. But anyway, it was like this journey made me come to her, and I was like, I just sat her down one day, because when I first did it, I told her about it, and she was like, that's weird. And one thing about spirituality, you don't try to push that on people, because it is a different way of life. It's different of what people growing up hearing and stuff. So for somebody that's been on the earth 30 years or whatever the case may be, and you've been into one religion, and somebody just come to you and try to wash those 30 years away and teach you something different, that's very odd, and that's understandable. But I didn't try to push it on her. I just wanted her to know where I was coming from. And she seen me changing as a person. Eventually, she was like, this is a real change. Like, she is really changing as a person.
3 months had passed.
Right. It was months. She
was beyond the do better.
Right. It was months had passed. I mean, it had to have been like, oh, wow. I won't say almost a year by that time.
Yeah.
But let's make this the second part. Okay. We'll be right back.
No stopping me, the stars are aligned. So you gon' hate it when you see that